Now, for a special news report on today's events in Washington. This morning, President Roosevelt put pen to paper on an amendment to the Volstead Act that is being called a step toward the full repeal of Prohibition. The Cullen-Harrison Act, as it has become known, legalizes in the United States the sale of beer with an alcohol content of 3.2%. It also legalizes the sale of wine of a similar alcohol content, although I can't imagine that being too appealing to many. The legislation will, no doubt, be greeted with elation by people all across the country. Economics have played just as big a part as public sentiment in the introduction of this new legislation. The negative effects of the Depression, especially in rural and agricultural areas, have been great, and the shortfall in local, state, and federal taxes has been considerable. It's been estimated that prior to the implementation of the Volstead Act in 1920, some 15% of all taxes were generated as a direct result of the alcohol trade. The millions of dollars that such a percentage equals is sorely needed in times such as these. Many missing millions of dollars have, in the 13 years of Prohibition, gone into the pockets of the gangster and the organized criminal. The illicit trade in alcohol has made the mobsters very wealthy indeed. Some of them like to paint themselves as Robin Hood types, simply giving the public what they want. But that doesn't take into account the social cost of their continued operation. When the speakeasy replaced the saloon, a vicious crime wave was unleashed across the country. Will this new legislation remove the mob's money-making opportunities? Or will the crime bosses simply move into new areas of illegal activity? At this point, it is difficult to say for sure. Some lawmakers in Washington, speaking off the record, now believe it is only a matter of time before the repeal of Prohibition in its entirety. We will, of course, let you know any further developments. So there we have it, folks. After 13 years, it is legal to buy, sell, and consume low-point beer once again. The president, after signing the act into law, even said, "I think this would be a good time for a beer." I imagine more than a few people tonight will be raising a glass to President Roosevelt this evening. This concludes our news report. Join us for more throughout the day. Thank you for listening.